All right, everybody, ding, ding, ding. We are back at it again. This is Troy Vaughn, also known as Trey Amazing, your favorite part-time stripper, part-time megachurch pastor, but full-time dating commentator. And I'm here with the lovely and intrepid Angela Edwards. And she is the mastermind, the brains, and the beauty behind Pole La Teaz. Welcome, Angela.
Welcome.
Thank you for honoring me with this interview. I know we've been talking, kind of back and forth for a while, but we are finally here on a not so pleasant, stormy day, but we're going to make it sunny and bright in here because this is the place to be. Pole La Teaz, I know you've been in business for, you said 16 years, correct?
16 years, yep.
So, and you guys have, you've made quite a name for yourself in Atlanta. So, I can give an introduction, but it won't do you justice. So really quickly, kind of break down for the people watching, who you are and what was the inspiration behind Pole La Teaz.
Okay, so my name is Angela Edwards. And, when I started Pole La Teaz, honestly, I've always loved dance as a whole. But I started Pole La Teaz, believe it or not, because I wanted a place for women to have friendship. For me growing up, I did have a lot of female friends, and that's never been an issue for me. And then as I got older, so many women talked about how they just couldn't trust women, and women are catty and not supportive, and I just didn't experience that growing up. I felt like the female friends that I had were amazing and always supportive, along with my parents. And so I really just wanted to create a space where women can come to support each other through the art of dance. So that was the vehicle of how to do it. It's something fun because I love fitness and I love fun fitness. I like fitness that doesn't feel like a workout because it's really hard to work out post-college, I believe. So you have to find something you really like. And I felt like these were the two things that I could mesh together, the art of dance and then female friendship and empowerment. And I saw pole dancing on Oprah, woohoo, Oprah. And
Oprah keep on changing lives.
Oprah still changing lives, yeah. Way back in 2004, I saw her with a show called Release Your Inner Sex Pot, and I thought the pole was the lady that was on there from LA was amazing. I loved her mission statement, and I just thought it was a beautiful art form that just didn't get the acknowledgement that it should have. But it's funny because I had not been to a strip club before because I was in my 20s then. So I didn't know I didn't know why everybody was up in awe about it. I was like, oh, it's just a ballet bar the other way. That's kind of how I saw it because I've been in dance my whole life, sensual dance, tango and salsa. There's all kind of sensual dances. This was just no different to me. So I didn't realize when I got into it that there was a taboo part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people do. I mean, there is a cloud of, I guess, taboo over it, but over the years it's become mainstream, it's grown in popularity. I mean, you have pole dancing appearing everywhere, and the momentum has been growing and growing, and, and after 16 years, I mean, you've established yourself here in Atlanta, you made a name for yourself. I think maybe even a few years ago, I think I saw that Pole La Teaz was on a reality show. What was it, with Tiny and?
Yeah.
Was it Real Housewives or something?
We've been on a couple. Yeah, we've been on a couple. So I have a couple of aerial brands. So I have Pole La Teaz, which is my pole dance brand, and I also have Skybar, which is our aerial silks brand. So our aerial silks brand was on T.I. and Tiny, and then there's another show. Sorry, they're kind of all starting to blend together.
They all started blending together.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, because they kind of came all at once. We've been on the Learning Channel and stuff like that. And we have some other things coming out this year as well that we recorded for Bravo and VH1 and TLC. So it's been awesome.
Beautiful. So whatever you're doing, you keep doing it. So when you think about Pole La Teaz, I mean, over the years you've seen, waves and waves of women come in, approaching you, wanting to learn. What are some of the reasons why people, I mean, I know you have your reasons why you started, but, as far as some of the your clients and the women that you taught, what have been some of the reasons would come here and want to choose pole dancing as opposed to, yoga or Pilates or, something else? What is some of the inspiration behind, why someone would want to choose pole dancing?
We get a lot of women from lots of walks of life. A lot of women do come to connect back to their sexy. So I will say our target market is more like 28 and over.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that in the sense of women who've gotten busy, had kids, stuff like that, and they lost their mojo, so to speak. So they come back to reconnect with their sensuality, their sexuality, their eroticism, and who they are as a woman. I say not 19, 18 because they haven't lost anything yet. Like they're just kind of like getting into it. It's not to say that we wouldn't take anybody 18 and over. We do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just most women. My target market are women who are trying to reconnect, and then women who are trying to find something fun to work out so they can stick with it. So I definitely have the anti-workout crowd, meaning like they do not like to be on the treadmill. Like that is like bore. Oh God, take me away. They want something that keeps them motivated. I have a lot of students here who come to definitely make their sex lives better. However, I will say that has more died down from when I first started. It's more like a plus, but people really just want to get in shape. Like they really love the athleticism, the camaraderie between women, and just the sex is definitely more of a bonus, but people don't stick with it for sex. People stick with it because it's a good workout and they just love the environment that our studio provides. So I think that's more so the thing. But however, we are a very sex positive studio, and what I mean by that is we do have workshops, like we do a 50 Shades of Yes workshop a couple times a year that's all about pleasure for women. And how we can have pleasure and how we can integrate that pleasure back into our love lives and stuff like that, or solo sex by ourselves.
Hey,
and so,
yes.
So we really love being able to incorporate that part into our business because we have women here who have never had an orgasm or it happens.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'd hate to hear that.
Yeah, it sucks, but everybody didn't grow up the same or was very
just
liberating.
unfamiliar with what makes
what
makes them come.
Yeah, exactly. That everybody has not gotten a chance to explore that side of themselves. So we're really happy that we give a space where we can do workshops like that, which are very successful because we give a safe space for women to talk and not feel embarrassed. And things of that nature, because people do get embarrassed and like, oh, I am 40 and I haven't had an orgasm, or and so this is kind of, like I said, pole dancing and sensual dance is kind of a vehicle of a way to kind of tap into it, but I do strongly believe that you have to be in tune with your body and your sensuality first before it can enhance anything else that you have. I think that that's so important. So that's where Pole La Teaz is great because we're a female facility. So we're all women, no men. And that takes away some of that pressure performing, or it's like I am dancing for myself. And I think that's important. So women, once they know what they like not even just like, it's not even just, it goes beyond sex. It's like, what clothing makes me feel sexy? What music makes me feel sexy? What moves make me feel sexy? All of that plays into your sensuality.
Right, because I can definitely see, I've had the opportunity to view some of your showcases and they've been amazing. I guess, when I think about it, I can see how you can have a student, maybe fresh off the street. She may be, married or dating, and, I'm sure you come across women who on the outside are attractive, but lack that confidence or lack that self-esteem, don't feel sexy, even though you may see them and like, look, you're a sexy woman, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what someone looks like if they don't feel sexy, if they don't feel sexy in the skin they're in, if they don't like what they see in the mirror, whatever, then ultimately that's going to play out in the bedroom with a significant other.
Absolutely, that does play out a lot, and we do get a lot of women who are. I mean, all the women that come here are beautiful. I think all women are beautiful in their own way. But a lot of women do suffer from, low self-esteem, whether it be just a bad relationship from a previous relationship, or just not having, affirmation from your parents, family, letting you know that you're gorgeous, and then just not believing in themselves, and then women sometimes we're very compare-y, and like it can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes with media and stuff like that. We think we have to look a certain way, we have to weigh a certain amount to be sexy, and we really try here at Pole La Teaz, we always say find your brand of sexy, because that's that's what's going to make you stand out as a woman for yourself. Like I said, do it for yourself, because when you start just doing it for other people, period, then it ends up turning into something else sometimes. So when you can feel confident on your own 2 feet, that makes a big difference. Like, other people can't bring you down as quickly. It's like, if you're dating and then it doesn't work out with whoever you're with, you just take it for what it is. Like, oh, it just didn't work out. It's like, oh, I wasn't pretty enough, or, oh, I didn't spread my legs open wide enough. And, you kind of go away from that and just take it as, oh, it just didn't work out because it just didn't work out. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with me.
Right.
And
it's not an indictment on who you are or your, attractiveness or value or anything. It just, shit don't work out sometimes.
Yeah, and I can speak to that personally. I definitely, in my 20s especially, because women don't get taught how to date. We don't get taught how to date. So I used to take it very personally when something doesn't work out, and you always internalize it and think it's something that you did. And sometimes you do need to do some internal work. Maybe maybe you do need to smile more. Maybe you're not flexible as far as when it comes to dating, like doing stuff that the person you're dating likes and doing stuff that you like, and you don't know how to compromise. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't reflect on maybe some things that you can improve upon, but some women tend to go directly to, I wasn't pretty enough, I didn't sleep with him fast enough, or her, whichever. They start making it seem like it's just all them.
And you just internalize it.
Yeah, and I definitely used to do that, like a lot. So I can definitely relate to making it all my fault. And like I said, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't reflect on where you can improve your communication and what you're looking for, and being open to meeting different types of people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't reflect on that. However, there's a difference between reflecting on that and trying to do self-growth, and then thinking that you're ugly, that your body, I need to lose 80 more pounds before I can actually get somebody, like stuff like that. They can, and some women can get that extreme, for us, like, okay, so that's hard. It's hard to break out of that frame of mind, unfortunately.
So, well, let me ask you something, and really, shoot me straight. Over the years, of course, you come across the women who are your students, and I know you have showcases where, the students get an opportunity to perform, they can bring their husbands and boyfriends out. Have you ever been in a situation where you have maybe had to tell the men or tell boyfriends or husbands, like, look, this is how you can make or help your woman or your wife feel sexy? If you have the opportunity to talk to the husband or the boyfriend of some of the students that come in here not feeling sexy, not feeling pretty, not feeling sensual in the skin they're in, what would be some advice you would maybe tell the men in their lives? Like, look, this is what you can do to help your woman feel sexy. If she feels sexy, then maybe you'll get different results in the bedroom, or just overall in life. What would be some things that you would just kind of list to a boyfriend or a husband?
And this is like hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
Okay, I understand, because most guys don't. We only do like a couples lap dance and stuff like that a couple of times a year. So I think for when you're talking about a mate or someone that you're seeing, I think, well, number one, if you're actually, it's a little different based on what stage you're in. So if you're married, I think it's really important to date. I think it's still important to go out on dates. I think it's important to have sex in different places. I think, and this is just my opinion, something that we really promote here at Pole La Teaz is role play. I think role play is fun. You get to wear different costumes, you know, but everybody's not into that. So I really, I have like, 2 thumbs down. We should all be into that. But that's where we all have to find like what our spark is. I think the main thing is making sure that you don't get monotonous, because especially monogamous relationships can get monotonous. That's just going to happen. You have to accept that. So since you know it's going to happen, you have to work a little bit harder on keeping things more spicy, adding variety, and you don't have to be drastic with it. It could be just a matter of just maybe instead of having dinner at the table, you know, you do a little picnic in the living room and you get some candlelight and you do something like that. Or maybe if you're going to have sex in the laundry room or something, or leave little love notes in your spouse's like lunchbox or something, or do some sexy texting. You know, like you don't have to be like, woo, legs open text. It could be just a shoulder.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes people go to the extreme when I was like, oh, why don't you do a little sexting? Like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like,
you can do it.
You can do it. I was like, maybe just show a shoulder.
Talk a little dirty, you know.
Yeah, or show like just your cleavage with your bra, and then you just cut your head off. So that way, it's like, oh, someone's gonna know me. I'm like, no offense, but no one's gonna know you by your breast unless you have some very signature tattoo that nobody has. But I was like, but just cut your head off, and that way you don't have to worry about someone saying, oh, that's Susie's breast on Pornhub. Like that's not, it's very rare, but that's gonna happen. So I think keeping it playful and just being open to different things. I think that's really, really important. And then just telling your special person, how much you adore them. I think that's really important to people to be like, oh, they already know. I'm like, sometimes people need to hear it, say it. I'm a big believer in the 5 love languages. I love that book, and people miss the mark with that book because it's not only just learn about your love languages, but it's also learn about how to appease other people's love languages. So once you know yours and you know your spouse's or your significant other, then you can it even deals with like friends. Like it doesn't even have to be just lovers, but like what a person likes, and then you kind of feed into that, and say for example, your husband love steak and potatoes or whatever, like that's their favorite thing to eat, and their love language happens to be acts of service. Maybe like on a random day, it doesn't have to be an anniversary, it could just be like because I just love you day, just like Friday, like get a babysitter for the kids and cook steak and potatoes the way that your husband or your mate, whatever, likes it. And then wear something really sexy. Like it could be something.
To bring that home.
Yeah, like it could really be something very simple. It doesn't have to be over the top all the time to make an impression on people. So yeah.
You dress up like a sexy maid, or whatever your mate's fantasy. Sexy maid, sexy cheerleader, head nurse. We all got them.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody has a fantasy, and like I said, I know some people are not into that or they're uncomfortable, but especially if you're married, like you already have them. So what's the worst thing going to happen? You might have a giggle. Like it's fine. That's what. Yeah, I never understood for when people are married why they're afraid to try different things, because they're already there. But you do have to have a mate or a spouse that's willing to explore with you. And I think that's where people run into issues, honestly, is that if both people don't want to, or one person doesn't want to, that's where friction begins. But I love at Pole La Teaz that we get women to explore that side of themselves, and they're just like giggly and they're so excited to like go to the boutique and they see all the different lingerie that we have that you don't find in Victoria's Secret, and stuff like that. So I think that's fun that we get to expose women to that. And then of course we have a great pregnancy rate here.
Oh wow! Okay.
As far as people that were trying to get pregnant, and I do think it's because they're in tune with themselves. And when you're in tune
it's
with,
a beautiful byproduct. I mean, their confidence, their esteem, they go home and they put it on them.
Exactly. Yeah. And then before you know it, you're pregnant. So make sure you use a condom. If you're not trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Or something, because it really does work. It really does. It does transfer over, not even in the bedroom, but I always say in the boardroom as well. You know, you got a big presentation. I've had women come and tell me, oh my gosh, I had a presentation today and I'm usually like freaked out. I just felt better. I went in, I put on my best outfit, my best lipstick, I had my chest up high. They're like, I heard y'all in class saying walk with pride and know your worth and just love yourself. And then they like ace the board meeting or their presentation. So I do think that, you know, it can transfer over to multiple areas, and that's really nice to feel that way.
So, you know, last question. So for a young lady who is thinking about, you know, coming in and taking classes, but maybe on the fence because, you know, something like this can come across very intimidating to some people. You know, they have one foot in and one foot out, like, you know, is this for me, or it looks really difficult, or I don't have a lot of upper body strength. You know, what would you say to, you know, a woman who is on the fence about it? They're interested, they want to feel sexy, they want to enhance their sex life with their mate, but they may be intimidated by the pole, maybe intimidated by, you know, the height, or just, you know, may not feel confident in their upper body strength. What would you say to somebody like this to kind of put them at ease about, you know, taking that first step through your doors?
Well, I think one thing people have to remember that, especially for all pole dance studios around the country, we all cater to everyday women. We're not catering to fitness elites and like you have to be at like Cirque du Soleil. Like that's not what we're, even though we love Cirque du Soleil, don't get me wrong.
Great show.
Cirque du Soleil is amazing if you get a chance to see them. But we're everyday women looking for a fun workout. So we have all body types here, all body types, all strengths. And then I know for us personally, you know, we do have just exotic dance classes. So if you just want to start with no pole or no apparatus, start with just learning to get in tune with your body. And then for our studio, we have levels. So we start you off at level 1, where everybody comes in with no experience, and then you work your way up. And that's like a nice, progressive, safe way of learning any type of aerial arts. Yeah. And then just knowing that we believe strongly in women practicing some type of feminine movement practice weekly. I think that that's important for all women. A lot of other cultures do it, like Cuban and just other cultures that dance sexy, with whether it's fertility dancing, whatever it may be. It's something that a lot of cultures do. And it's to celebrate your femininity. So think about coming to celebrate your femininity versus like, oh my God, I can't do anything. Like nobody that starts pole dancing starts off like, oh, like perfect. Everybody starts with like, I'm not able to hold my weight, or, you know, like that's anybody and everybody for any fitness type of regime, like whatsoever. Like I'm sure when you went bowling, you sucked at it at first, or you didn't do well, or you play volleyball, you didn't do well, or you went to go roller skate, you probably didn't do well the first time. So pole dancing is no different. You know, we all have to work on stuff, but we can definitely make you feel sexy in less than 60 minutes. Like we were that good. So we turn the lights down, it's dark, nice. You know, we had the music blaring, so it's totally a lot of fun. And I think that's the main thing, it's just fun. It's just fun, and then life's just too short to be worrying about everybody else.
You got that right.
It's too short.
Well, I think that is a great way to close out. But really quickly, before we close out, just want to encourage all the subscribers out there. If you are on social media, particularly if you're on Facebook, make sure you go to that search bar, type in Ringside LLC, join the digital community, request to be admitted. Either myself or one of the admins will admit you. Angela, thank you so much.
You're
this
welcome.
Has been an honor, but I can't let you leave until you let people know how they can find you. Are you on social media? What is the website? You know, for anybody out there who's interested in looking up Pole La Teaz, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, yep. So our website address is poledateaz.com, which is POLELATEAZ.com. And we also do teacher training. So if you want to teach pole or lyra or silks in your area with the sexy twist, we also offer teacher training multiple times a year in our Atlanta headquarters.
Nice, beautiful. Angela, thank you so much. Everybody out there, make sure you like, drop a comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And there you have it, Pole La Teaz, Angela. Thank you again, and we are out. Bye bye.
Bye.